Um, First of all, congratulations on the film. I was able to watch it at the Toronto International Film Festival, and it's really stuck with me.
Thank
And
you.
I wanted to ask you, I mean, how did this even come on your radar?
It's based on a book written by Dave Garrow, a historian. And my producer of this film, Ben Hadeen, had read the book. And he said, I think we found our next film. We had just finished another film called Two Trains Running. So I
Mhm.
read the book also. And I happen to know Dave Garrow because he had been one of our major consultants when I worked on Eyes on the Prize, too. And I said the same thing to Ben. I said, wow, this is going to be a great story. Looking at King, looking at the FBI, J. Edgar Hoover. Wow, the drama, the drama, the drama. And he
For
reached
sure.
out to Dave Garrow, and Garrow said yes to an option of the book. And then we went to Pittsburgh a little couple of months later and spent like 4 or 5 hours with Dave, documenting, having him on film and video, talk about the video and audio, talking about the genesis of the book, what the book was really all about, which became sort of the framework of the whole film.
Yeah, and how challenging was it for you, Sam, to not just go through all this archival footage? Because I mean, that's what a documentarian does. They have a lot of work to do. But then also you've incorporated Hollywood movies and you've really made this flow so well. What a huge challenge it had to have been for you, and also what to decide not to use.
Well, it's part of the job, part of the responsibility to go through all
Yeah,
this footage to sort of try to carve it down and to define and give it what I call narrative focus.
right.
And then we also had to deal with the redacted, transcripts that we went through to find the stuff that we thought would help come through, basically would come through the links that the FBI would go through to
Yeah.
destroy Dr. King. And fortunately, on the archival front, we had a great archival producer and a gentleman named Brian Becker, who basically found much of the material that we used in the film.
Yeah.
And then we had a wonderful editor, Laura Tomaselli, who had the unenviable job, of going through these hours and hours of material to get the material that we needed to look at and say, well, this is good, but we want this, or this doesn't work, we want more, you
Yeah.
know. So it
Yeah.
was a wonderful experience.
I can just imagine, and you don't shy away from a lot of stuff. Like we get to see Dr. King in many modes here. One thing is the personal side, and how the FBI was trying to attack him that way and get at his family. And
Oh
it's
yeah.
just it's wow. Like, how do you as a filmmaker set aside your personal feelings and show some of this stuff? Is it hard for you?
I feel like as a filmmaker, my responsibility, particularly with these documentaries that I've been doing for the last 5 years,
Yeah.
is to look at a human being or a situation from all kind of perspectives. I don't believe in this idea now there's one way to look at a person. It's like, Bonnie, I grew up believing that Abraham Lincoln was a great emancipator.
Yeah.
That was it. There was nothing else I wanted to know about it. There was nothing else I was taught about it. But
Yeah.
as I become an adult and as I delved into reading more books and seeing how complex he was, that made it more fascinating to me.
For
So
sure.
as a documentary director of the last 10, 12 years, the films I'm attracted to is where I can dig into a human being, dig into a situation to see the complexity of them, to see their humanity. I'm not trying to create hagiography at all. If I wanted to do a hagiography about Dr. King, I would not have done this film. You know,
Correct. Yeah.
that's
Yeah.
the challenge to really try to make sure you understand the complexity of human beings when you make these films.
Yeah, and when you made this film, I mean, it took you a couple of years to get this done. Did you even fathom how relevant it all is today and how sad what we saw in your country yesterday, and what's going on? Thank God for hopefully new leadership will drive us in a new direction. But I can't even believe how relevant this film still sadly is.
Well, that was my feelings yesterday as I watched what was unfolding at the Capitol yesterday. I was like saddened, I was angered, and
Yeah.
I thought, man, I knew this film would resonate, but boy, it resonates even more after what we saw yesterday. And there's a part of me, Bonnie, there's a part of me that has a sense of shame,
Yeah.
a sense of shame when people from other countries like you from Canada or people from across the pond, they
Yeah.
see what's happening in America. You think, I, I grew up with this naive notion, Bonnie, that America was a beacon of light,
Well, yeah,
you
yeah.
know, that America was liberty and democracy and freedom. But when you start to dig into the underbelly of America, it's got some really fucked up history.
No, I know, I know. I mean, look, no one's perfect, but let's just hope that we're going to be going in a new direction starting in 2 weeks for you guys. And, it affects us too. Like you say, it affects the entire world. And it's very upsetting. It's very upsetting. But I do thank you so much for this film. It really was eye-opening.
Thank you.
And you did such a terrific job on it. And I can't wait to see what you bring us at the Toronto Film Festival next.
Thank you very much. Have a
Thank you.
good day.
Take care. Have a good day. And thanks for your
Bye.
time today, Sam.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.